Welcome back. All right, so this should be the final news video for today as we get into training camp, but I am sure that a lot is still going to happen over the next few days. Tomasino, another restricted free agent off the board. He signs a 1 year deal with the Nashville Predators worth $825,000. Tomasino, good young forward. I think that's going to be a bargain for them this year. We'll see what kind of minutes he gets. And Lucas Johansson signs a PTO with the Nashville Predators. He, of course, from the Washington organization and just wasn't quite able to make it to the NHL level. We'll see if he shows enough to Nashville to get an NHL contract or where he ends up. PWHL news. The Toronto Scepters, as the teams now have names, of course, they have sold out their full season ticket memberships. They did it last year too. Full season ticket memberships sold out quickly last year, this year too, and the half season ticket packages will be available soon. So PWHL sales are doing well when it comes to the tickets, and that's huge for a league that I would imagine most of their money comes from ticket revenue. So all the best to them. Injury news. Matt Nieto is month to month. We knew he wasn't going to be starting the season in Pittsburgh. It is a knee injury for him, and so we'll see how long he's out, but it's going to be at least a couple of months. When it's month to month, I assume it's at least 2 months. I assume it's not going to be a month, that it's going to be at least two, and so Nieto's going to be out for a bit. He is a fourth line player. Pittsburgh does have some forward depth. Shouldn't be a problem for them missing him to start the year. Marchand should be good to go, and I've talked about this over the last couple of weeks as well. Marchand had various injuries that needed to be addressed in the offseason, so he will not be with the team to start off training camp. Could miss camp altogether, but he is expected to be ready for the start of the regular season. So good news for Boston in that Marchand should be 100% healthy, and anything that might have been nagging at him last season shouldn't be nagging at him this season from a health perspective. The St. Louis Blues signed a couple of PTOs. They brought in Scott Harrington on a tryout, and Matthew Pekka comes in on a tryout as well. Harrington, a depth defenseman, Pekka, a depth forward, and so we'll see if either of them get themselves onto the roster and get an NHL contract, or again, if they end up with an AHL contract, or in some cases, of course, players still sign in Europe if they don't get on with the NHL team via a tryout. The New York Rangers, something to keep an eye on is Alexis Lafreniere. Lafreniere's career has taken next steps. Peter Laviolette being asked today, first off, about Jacob Trouba, and he praises Trouba as a captain, backs his captain, as you would expect the coach to do, and the leadership group as well, saying that he likes the leadership group, and they're basically counting on this season to get to that next level, win themselves a championship. He won't commit, though, to Lafreniere getting time on the first power play. Just says, basically, special teams were really good for them last year, so that kind of leads you to believe, okay, so we'll probably keep the power play units the same for the most part. But yeah, Lafreniere, I think he's going to have to push his way into that first unit power play time. I think he's got the talent to do so. We'll see how things turn out for him this season with the New York Rangers. So the Washington Capitals, we knew this was coming too, didn't we? A chronic back injury is going to sideline Oshie, likely for the entire 2024-2025 season. He took the physical, did not pass said physical, and he's been dealing with this back injury for a long time. The Washington Capitals coming out in support of Oshie as well and saying they're going to do their best to help him find a lasting solution to this back injury. And it sounds like he may be around the team, just not playing because he can't with his back being the way that it is. But maybe we see him behind the bench playing sort of an assistant coach type of role. Maybe we see him working with guys from a development perspective. We'll see. He says he's going to keep supporting the players and the organization. So maybe we see him in some other role this year with Washington while he's getting his back dealt with. It's just something not physical, right? Steve Yzerman. So there are plenty of people who think that the Red Wings could be a playoff team, and there's plenty of others who think Yzerman's done a terrible job. And so this is a big year for Yzerman to show some kind of fruits for the Yzer plan. And one thing that's standing out there is the fact that Moritz Seider's not signed yet. But in talking about Lucas Raymond after signing him to his contract, he's confident that Raymond's going to continue that upward trajectory. And this is where the contracts for young players are risky, right? You're signing them for what you believe they're going to do. And contracts, of course, 10, 15 years ago were structured based on what a player has done. This can be a huge risk reward thing when it comes to the young players. For guys who develop really, really well, those contracts become a bargain. Clayton Keller stands out now in Utah, of course, formerly of Arizona. But Raymond could be another one, too. We look at the cap hit now and say, well, that seems a little bit high. Again, I think the cap hit's fine. But the idea being you look 3-4 years from now and the cap hit should look a lot better. Plus, what Yzerman's saying here is possible as well that we haven't seen the best from Raymond as of yet. I don't think it's that far outside the realm of possibility that we have not seen the best from Raymond as of yet. Toronto news, William Nylander's going to get a look at center for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Of course, during the preseason, you should be looking at plenty of different options with your lineup. And Morgan Rielly is saying that he hopes to be paired with Chris Tanev. Tanev coming in as a free agent in the offseason, and so we'll see how things go. But Tanev with Rielly could be a really solid pairing. I am pretty sure that that's something Craig Berube would have been looking at anyways. But yeah, there's some fascinating choices to be made for Toronto. Of course, they didn't really blow things up in the offseason. They went with just modifying their goaltending, their defense, and just smaller moves. Of course, the biggest move may end up being the change behind the bench with Craig Berube, and we'll see how that works for them this season. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.